Now, of course, I don't know about you, but reform seems to be impressing me more and more as time goes on. Well, obviously, Labour gone the other way and are probably tanking faster than, Keir Starmer's intelligence. But now reform has done something which, let's face it, is going to make it pretty hard for Keir Starmer to recover from. And I say that because, according to this article, it says that Reform MP delivers a brutal Starmer takedown. Britain cannot afford this government. And this just isn't any takedown. It's a 22-point, basically assassination of Keir Starmer's time in government so far. And just who is that MP? Well, he's my local MP, who, by the way, I helped vote in. You're welcome. But the MP for Great Yarmouth, Rupert Lowe, took to social media to air his grievances with the Prime Minister and the Labour government, sharing everything he feels that they've done wrong. And I'm guessing, after I reveal this, basically, about 99% of us are probably going to agree with him. But anyway, he said on X, which is obviously Twitter, or Twatter if you're a lefty, Keir Starmer is the worst Prime Minister in living memory, a pathetic man from a pathetic party, from a pathetic government. Misplaced arrogance runs through his veins. And this comes, of course, after heavy criticism over the budget announcement just a few weeks ago, which saw the Chancellor Rachel Reeves cut the winter fuel allowance and introduce a tax of 20% on inherited farming assets above £1 million, which, of course, I don't know about you, but let's face it, nowadays, farmers, they don't really tend to make much money, do they? Because the prices, from what I'm aware, are set most of the time by the supermarkets, and therefore any profits that farmers do make are more than likely going to be minuscule, aren't they? But anyway, in a post on X, Lowe introduced a 22-point list of what Starmer and his party have delivered since coming into power, which, to be honest, kind of cuts off Keir Starmer's man sausage and feeds it to the dogs, because the first one is attacking British pensioners through stripping them of their winter fuel allowance. How about insulting the British farming community and then battering British businesses through their insane employment tax? The Kangaroos Island surrender. Sleaze after sleaze after more sleaze. Who is Rachel Reeves? And what are her true qualifications? Well, to be honest, yes, that is a very good point indeed, because she is our Chancellor, and surely you would have liked to have thought someone with that much power would have been vetted, wouldn't you? But anyway, Labour's war on free speech, the continued net zero insanity, which, remember, is more than likely going to cost us more and more as time goes on. Where is the injustice for the Manchester airport thugs? Emptying the prisons of violent offenders to replace them with foolish social media users, which is a very good point, isn't it? When will Keir Starmer and his government learn that actually it might have been a better idea to keep potential violent criminals in prison rather than replacing them with a few people who said some silly things? I mean, this kind of goes without saying, doesn't it, really, eh? Anyway, insulting and abusing President-elect Trump, burning the bridge of our most important allies. Keir Starmer certainly backed the wrong horse there, didn't he? Maybe he thought it was a given that Kamala Harris would win. However, surely he should have realised that there are actually two candidates in a presidential race, and therefore either one of them might have won. The continued Oprah Borden scandal, which thousands of unchecked young foreign men placed in communities around the UK. And this is a very good point indeed. We should have actually come up with a Tony Abbott Australian-style system, where we say that anyone who comes from this route will not get asylum, and therefore, I guess it would have stopped very, very quickly. But of course, this government does not have the cojones needed to do such a thing. He continues, remember the pub guarding smoking ban? Woke, and more woke. Vindictive VAT on private schools. Ludicrous employment reform designed to obstruct British business. Different communities being policed in entirely different ways, and that is completely out of order, isn't it? There should be the law, and that's it. Not the law applied to this person and a different one applied to that. No, the law is the law, regardless of who you are, what race you are, how famous you are, or whatever. The law is the law. Two-tier police and two-tier justice and two-tier care. I guess I've already elaborated on that. Tolerance on British streets of Hamas sympathisers. The general sheer incompetence and impetude of Labour MPs. And of course, Southport. And that is a very good point, isn't it? He finished with, what have I missed? I could go on and on. Doesn't make for great reading, does it? Britain cannot afford 4.5 more years of this Labour government. Well, I think that's a bit of an understatement. I don't think we can actually afford 4.5 weeks. Well, actually, 4.5 more days of this Labour government. But Unless something changes, we are going to be stuck with them. But hopefully, if they, balls it up enough, then they could be forced to call an early general election. And it would be quite interesting to see just how well Reform do in that one, because remember, they were second place in 90-odd constituencies, where if they won them next time, that would be a massive problem for Labour and, of course, the Conservatives, eh?